The drama begins with the arrival of angels, descendants of Rabiel, who were exiled for violating the laws of heaven. However, they do not know which laws they violated. They land in an abandoned restaurant on Earth. One of the angels, Rabiel, blows a kiss and transforms the eerie restaurant into a new one. After this, the angels run the restaurant called South Plate, pretending to be normal human beings. In the next scene, we see a girl named Supia dreaming of a boy. Before she can see his face, she is awakened by Mr. Park, a worker on her grandfather's farm. Supia's grandfather, Mr. Young, owns a farm that supplies products to various restaurants. Meanwhile, at South Plate, the angels are worried because they haven't received any orders. Moments later, a notification appears on the screen informing them that a groom is about to be abandoned in 52 minutes. This wasn't the order they expected. Supia arrives at the restaurant to deliver an order, which is received by Muriel, one of the angels, who falls in love with her at first sight. At the same time, Rabiel notices the locket around Supia's neck and approaches her to take a closer look, surprising her and making her wonder if this boy is the one from her dream. He asks why she has the locket, to which she replies that it belongs to her grandfather. This leads to a revelation where we see Mr. Young hospitalized and Supia reading the message he wrote in his diary, instructing her to deliver the best quality products to South Plate every week. Back in the present, Supia introduces herself to everyone, but Rabiel ignores her and walks away. As she leaves the restaurant, she wonders why her grandfather does business with them. Thinking the boys are rich and just running the restaurant for fun, Rabiel unexpectedly appears and tells her this isn't true, surprising her further. She retracts her thoughts, wondering how he read her mind. Later, while driving back to the farm, Supia almost collides with an oncoming car. Fortunately, Rabiel, who was nearby, uses his power to create a portal, allowing the cars to pass through each other without crashing. After the incident, Supia and the couple in the other car are confused about what just happened. The couple then arrives at South Plate, where Ariel, one of the angels, asks for their invitation as no one can enter the restaurant without one. These invitations allow the angels to use their magic to rekindle love and happiness in people's lives. The couple orders the chef's recommendation, and the angels add magic to the dish before serving it. When the couple looks at the dish, they see nothing special, but upon eating it, they remember the past when the woman used to make the same dish for her husband. Sharing a happy moment, they apologize and rekindle their love. Meanwhile, at the farm, Supia asks Mr. Park about the restaurant, but he reveals nothing. Later that night, Supia receives another order from South Plate and is surprised to see it contains the exact amount of produce harvested that day. She thinks about her locket and decides that by taking it off, she might stop dreaming about the boy, so she removes it. The next day, while driving to the restaurant with the order, her car stops right in front of the magical portal from the previous day. Upon entering, Supia finds herself at South Plate, where the angels bring her favorite dish. She asks Muriel if he made the dish, and he lies, saying he did. However, his body starts itching due to the lie. Rabiel approaches Supia and puts the locket back on her. In the next scene, a woman at the restaurant doesn't want to take care of her hospitalized mother. She orders the best dish, and the angels prepare and serve the same dish her mother used to make. As soon as she eats it, the woman remembers the past when her mother cared for her during her son's birth and has a vision of her mother telling her never to be sad or cry. The woman apologizes for being a bad daughter and realizes her mistake. At that moment, she receives a call from the hospital informing her that her mother has passed away. Initially, she doesn't believe it since she was just talking to her, but when she looks around, her mother is gone. One of the angels tells her she was alone the whole time, making her realize it was her mother's spirit. She runs to the hospital, and as soon as she leaves, Muriel tries to eat the leftovers, but Rabiel stops him, saying it's forbidden as the dish was made for a specific person. The angels prepare a dish for themselves, which Rabiel tastes first. Moments later, Supia arrives at the restaurant, telling Rabiel she had the same dream about him and believes they met before. Rabiel touches her forehead, causing her to faint and reappear confused in her car. After this, an old man arrives at South Plate and orders the most expensive dish for his guest. A young man named Yochan arrives, and the old man expresses his gratitude for donating his kidney to save his daughter's life. Yo-chan responds that he was just repaying his kindness, reminding the old man of a time when he stole a packet of chicken soup for his sick mother and the owner caught him. The old man helped by paying for the soup, and Yo-chan was grateful as his mother's last wish was to eat chicken soup before she died. Yo-chan also shares that he will soon take his licensing exam to become a doctor. The old man is delighted, and Yo-chan invites him to eat chicken soup, which he hasn't had since his mother's death. Later, the angels celebrate their final moments on Earth as they will soon return to heaven. While doing so, Rabiel appears in Supia's dream. In the next scene, a schoolgirl named Sujin enters a cafe to meet her father, only to find he has brought his new girlfriend, who asks Sujin if she will let her be her new mother. Sujin refuses. The girlfriend offers Sujin a snack, but she rejects it, causing it to fall on the floor, making her father angry. Disappointed, Sujin leaves. Her father, regretting his reaction, tries to call her, but she doesn't listen. While walking, Sujin stops in front of South Plate and meets Ariel, who asks if she has an invitation card. When she says no, the angels create one for her, allowing her to enter the restaurant. They soon serve her favorite dishes, which taste just like her mother used to make. She asks Muriel if he prepared them, and he says they were made by a special chef. At that moment, her father's girlfriend serves another favorite dish and tells Sujin she is the special chef. She shows Sujin a paper with her mother's recipes, saying her father gave them to her. She also says she ended the relationship with him and asks Sujin to reconcile with her father. Shortly after, Sujin's father arrives to pick her up. Seeing the girlfriend leaving, Sujin stops her and says she will allow her father to remarry. Her father and his girlfriend embrace her. Meanwhile, at the farm, Supia faints and dreams of Rabiel again. Witnessing this, Mr. Clark takes her home. The next morning, Mr. Clark's daughter wakes up to find Supia gone. Supia, sitting on the farm, imagines her grandfather sitting beside her. Mr. Young tells her that South Plate belongs to angels exiled from heaven who come to Earth as humans, feeling emotions like them. He also reveals that he was an angel before falling in love with a human, Supia's grandmother, and decided to stay on Earth for her. He believes Supia's parents died because of his sins, which is why she can see angels. Supia always saw Rabiel and used to play with him in the past. Lastly, Mr. Young tells her that there are many things one cannot see with normal eyes. It is then revealed that Supia had always been dreaming of Rabiel from the beginning, and they were in love with each other. However, Rabiel seems to be cursed, which is why he tries to stay away from Supia and avoids her. This is the reason Supia's memories are erased in the present. The story becomes increasingly interesting. On the other hand, in South Plate, the angels are waiting for their final client on their last day on Earth. A few moments later, Supia arrives. As soon as Rabiel sees her, he moves away, but she runs towards him and hugs him from behind, surprising everyone. Rabiel immediately pushes her away and asks what she is doing. She responds that he looks a lot like her ex. Yes, very casually hugging people and saying they look like your ex. At that moment, an invitation suddenly appears in Supia's hand, implying that she is their final client. The angels prepare a dish for her, and after she tastes it, she says her ex doesn't miss her. It seems she is telling Rabiel. The next day, we see Supia opening the restaurant where she is in charge. Shortly after, her first customer arrives, and it is none other than Rabiel himself. Seeing him, Supia, optimistic, thinks that one day they might be together. And thus, the drama ends. But wait, is Supia alive? Is she dead? Is she half angel? What happened? Will they be together? I hope there will be a second season.